The rain was falling harder now. I'd been standing at my window for 20 minutes, watching it hammer against the glass, thinking about her like I did every night. 6 months. 6 months since I'd left Seoul. Since I'd walked out of Dean Kang's office. Since I'd seen her face. My phone buzzed. Another rejection email. Thank you for your interest, but we've decided to move forward with other candidates. 13 rejections this month. Nobody wanted to hire a disgraced professor. Somehow, Dean Kang's influence reached even here, across oceans. I was surviving on tutoring jobs, teaching English to international students for £20 an hour, living in a studio flat in Brixton that smelled like mold and regret. I picked up my phone and did what I did every night, opened Instagram, typed her name into the search bar. Me.Her Kang. Her account was still private, still unreachable. I'd tried messaging her once, 2 months after I left. The message never delivered, blocked. Her father had probably taken her phone, monitored everything. I wondered if she'd moved on, found someone appropriate, someone her father approved of, someone who didn't destroy her life. The thought killed me every time. Then my doorbell rang. I wasn't expecting anyone. My landlord had already come for rent. I had no friends here. No life. I walked to the door, exhausted, probably another delivery for the wrong flat. I opened it, and my heart stopped. Min-seo, standing in my doorway, soaking wet, hair plastered to her face, a suitcase at her feet, shivering. 6 months of loneliness and depression finally breaking my mind. Marcus, she whispered, her voice cracking. She was real. What? How? I couldn't form words. She smiled through her tears. Are you going to invite me in? Or are you going to let me drown out here? I grabbed her arm, pulled her inside, slammed the door shut like her father might burst through at any second. We stood there in my tiny entryway, water dripping from her clothes onto my cheap carpet, both of us breathing hard, staring at each other. Then I grabbed her face and kissed her, desperate, hungry. 6 months of agony pouring into that kiss. She dropped her suitcase and threw her arms around my neck, kissing me back just as desperately. You're here. I breathed against her lips. You're actually here. I'm here, she sobbed, laughing and crying at the same time. I found you. How? Your father. He said he'd. I don't care what he said. She pulled back, looking at me with fierce eyes. I don't care about any of it. I only care about you. And then she kissed me again, and this time there was no gentleness, no hesitation, just raw need. I lifted her up. She wrapped her legs around my waist. I carried her to my bedroom, our lips never breaking apart. You're soaked, I murmured. You'll get sick. Then warm me up, she whispered against my mouth. I laid her on my bed. She was shivering, but not from cold, from anticipation, from 6 months of separation. I pulled off her wet jacket, then her shirt. She wasn't wearing a bra underneath. Her skin was covered in goosebumps. Beautiful, I whispered, running my hands over her body. God, I missed you. Show me, she breathed. Show me how much. What happened next was not gentle. It was 6 months of starvation. 6 months of dreaming about her touch, her taste, her body against mine. I kissed every inch of her skin, her neck, her shoulders, her breasts. She arched beneath me, moaning my name like a prayer. Marcus, please. I removed the rest of her clothes slowly, savoring every moment. Then, mine. When I finally entered her, she cried out, her nails digging into my back. I love you, she gasped. I love you so much. I love you too, I groaned, moving inside her. Never letting you go again. Never. We made love like it was our last night on earth, desperate, passionate, claiming each other over and over until we were both exhausted, tangled in my sheets, unable to tell where I ended and she began. Afterward, we lay there, her head on my chest, both of us catching our breath. You need to tell me everything, I finally said. How did you find me? What happened with your father? Minseo, he could. Shh. She placed a finger on my lips. I'll tell you everything. But first, just hold me. For 5 more minutes. Just hold me, and let me remember what happiness feels like. I held her tighter, kissing the top of her head, and for the first time in 6 months, I felt like I could breathe again. We lay there for an hour before she finally spoke. After you left, she began quietly, my father locked me in the house. Literally. He took my phone, my laptop, cut off all my access to the outside world. He told me it was for my own good, that I'd been manipulated, that I'd thank him one day. My jaw clenched. Minseo. I screamed at him, told him I hated him, refused to eat for 3 days. My mother cried constantly, begging me to just let you go. But I couldn't. Every day I thought about you, wondered where you were, if you were safe, if you still thought about me. Every second of every day, I whispered. She smiled sadly. I managed to sneak my mother's phone one night. I found your Instagram, but you hadn't posted anything new. No location tags. Nothing. You disappeared. Your father made sure of that. I couldn't risk him tracking me. I know. But I wasn't going to give up. She propped herself up on her elbow, looking down at me. I waited, played the obedient daughter, went back to school, pretended I was moving on. 3 months passed. My father finally gave me my phone back, thinking he'd broken me. But he hadn't. Not even close. Her eyes flashed with determination. No. 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 I hired a private investigator, paid him with money I'd been saving since I was 16, gave him everything I knew about you. Your full name, your education history, your publications. And he found me? It took 2 months. But yes, he found your address in London, found out you were tutoring, living alone. She traced my jaw with her finger, and I bought a plane ticket. Just like that, just like that. I packed a suitcase, left a note for my parents. I'm 24 years old. I make my own choices. I choose him. Don't try to find me. She laughed bitterly. My father probably lost his mind. I sat up, pulling her with me. Minseo, you can't just... He'll come after you. He'll... Let him. Her voice was steel. I'm done living my life according to his rules. I love you, Marcus. I've loved you since the day I walked into your classroom. And I'm not losing you again. Not for him. Not for anyone. I cupped her face in my hands. You gave up everything. I didn't give up anything that mattered. She kissed me softly. She kissed me softly. You're all that matters. What about your degree? Your future? I'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Together. I pulled her into my arms, overwhelmed. I don't deserve you. Yes, you do, she whispered. You deserve everything. For 3 weeks, we lived in our own private bubble. She moved into my tiny flat. We slept tangled together every night. Made love every morning. Spent our days cooking together, walking through London, pretending the rest of the world didn't exist. I got her a job at the bookstore, where I tutored. The owner didn't ask questions, just saw a beautiful, intelligent woman who spoke perfect English and Korean and hired her on the spot. We were happy. Really, genuinely happy. But reality has a way of crashing through even the strongest doors. 3 weeks and 4 days after she arrived, my doorbell rang. It was 2 p.m. on a Saturday. We were on the couch, her legs draped over mine, reading books in comfortable silence. The bell rang again. Insistent. Minseo's face went pale. Do you think... Stay here, I said, standing up. I walked to the door, looked through the peephole. My heart stopped. Dean Kang, and a woman I recognized from photos, Minseo's mother. Marcus. Minseo called from the living room. Who is it? I turned to her. Your parents. The color drained from her face. No. No. How did they? The private investigator probably told them. I took a deep breath. I'm opening the door. Marcus? Don't. But I already had. Dean Kang stood there, looking 10 years older than when I'd last seen him. Exhausted, defeated. His wife clutched his arm, her eyes red and swollen. Professor Williams, he said quietly. Dean Kang. I didn't move from the doorway. What do you want? We want to see our daughter. I'm not sure she wants to see you. Please. His voice cracked. I'm not here to fight. I just... Please. Let us see her. Behind me, I heard Minseo's footsteps. She appeared at my side, her hand finding mine. Hello, Father, she said coldly. Mother, Minseo, her mother sobbed, reaching for her. My baby. Minseo didn't move. What are you doing here? Dean Kang's eyes glistened with unshed tears. We came to bring you home. This is my home, she said firmly, squeezing my hand. Minseo, please. No. Her voice was sharp. You don't get to control me anymore. You forced Marcus to leave Korea. You locked me in the house, like a prisoner. You treated me like property instead of a person. So no, Father, I'm not coming home. From being happy? From being loved? From making a mistake that would ruin your life? He is my life. She shouted it, tears streaming down her face. Don't you understand? Marcus is my life. Without him, I have nothing. No purpose, no joy. Nothing. You took him from me once, and it almost killed me. I won't let you do it again. The silence that followed was deafening. Then Dean Kang did something I never expected. He bowed. A full, deep, 90-degree bow. To me, Professor Williams, he said, his voice thick with emotion. I was wrong. I stood there, frozen, as this powerful man who destroyed my career bowed before me. I was wrong about you. I was wrong about my daughter. And I was wrong to interfere. He straightened up, looking me directly in the eyes. For 3 months, I watched my daughter waste away. She wouldn't eat, wouldn't sleep, wouldn't speak to us except to say she hated us. When she disappeared, I thought I'd lost her forever. His wife was sobbing quietly. I've spent the last 3 weeks flying between Seoul and London, trying to find you both, trying to figure out how to fix what I destroyed. He took a shaky breath. I don't know if you can forgive me, either of you, but I'm asking you to try. Min-seo's grip on my hand tightened. She was shaking. Why should we? Why? Why? I asked quietly. Because I was a foolish old man who thought he knew what was best for his daughter. Because I let my pride and my prejudice blind me to what was right in front of me. He looked at Min-seo. You love him. Truly love him. I saw it in your eyes that day in my office. I just didn't want to admit it. Father. Min-seo's voice wavered. And you. He turned to me. You gave up everything rather than hurt her. You walked away even though it destroyed you. That's not the action of a predator. That's the action of a man who loves my daughter more than his own happiness. Tears were streaming down my face now. Please, Dean Kang said, his voice barely above a whisper. Let us make this right. Both of you. Let us try. Min-seo looked up at me, her eyes asking a silent question. I nodded. She released my hand and walked to her father. For a moment, they just stared at each other. Then she fell into his arms, sobbing. I'm sorry. Appa. I'm so sorry. No. He held her tight, crying openly now. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, my beautiful girl. Her mother. Months abound. No months abound. After this like saying, rushed forward, wrapping them both in her arms, the 3 of them holding each other and weeping. I stood in the doorway, my heart breaking and healing at the same time. We invited them inside, made tea, sat in my tiny living room that barely fit 4 people. For 2 hours, we talked. Dean Kang apologized. Really, genuinely apologized. For everything. The threats. The blacklist. The way he'd treated both of us. I've already started making calls, he said. To universities. Colleagues. I'm working to restore your reputation, Professor Williams. It won't be immediate, but I'll make sure everyone knows the truth. The truth? I asked. That I was wrong. That you're a brilliant educator who made a mistake falling in love with his student. Not a predator. Not a criminal. Just a man who fell in love in impossible circumstances. I can't undo what I did, but I can try to fix it. Thank you, I said quietly. Min-seo's mother spoke for the first time. Min-seo. Ah, will you come home? Finish your degree? No, mother. Min-seo held my hand. My life is here now. With Marcus. What if? Her mother hesitated. What if you could have both? Your degree? And Marcus? What do you mean? Dean Kang leaned forward. I have connections at Imperial College London. They have an excellent graduate program. I could make some calls. Get you enrolled. Both of you. I blinked. 2. Both of us? You deserve to finish what you started, Professor Williams. Your doctoral research was groundbreaking. You could complete it here. Teach here. Build a life here. Together. Mincio looked at me, hope blazing in her eyes. Marcus? I don't know what to say. Say yes, Dean Kang said simply. Let me fix what I broke. Please. I looked at Mincio. At her parents. At the impossible offer being handed to us. On one condition, I said. Anything. You accept us. Really accept us. No more trying to control her. No more interference. We make our own choices, live our own lives. And if we make mistakes, there are mistakes to make. Dean Kang nodded slowly. Agreed. And one more thing. I stood up, walked to my bedroom, and came back with a small box I'd bought 2 weeks earlier, with money I'd saved from tutoring. I got down on one knee in front of Mincio. Her hand flew to her mouth. Mincio Kang, I said, opening the box to reveal a simple silver ring. I don't have much. I can't give you the life you're used to. But I can give you me. All of me. Forever. Will you marry me? She was sobbing, nodding frantically. Yes. Yes, yes, 1,000 times yes. I slipped the ring on her finger, and she threw her arms around me, kissing me as her parents watched, her mother crying happy tears, her father smiling through his own. Dean Kang said quietly. And just like that, everything changed. The next 6 months were a whirlwind. Dean Kang kept his promise. Made calls. Opened doors. By February, I had a research position at Imperial College. Not teaching yet, but legitimate academic work. My reputation slowly being restored. Mincio enrolled in Imperial's graduate program, English literature. She threw herself into it with the same passion she'd brought to everything else. We moved into a proper flat. Nothing fancy, but ours. With a bedroom big enough for both of us and a kitchen where we cooked Korean and Ghanaian food together, teaching each other recipes from our childhoods. Her parents visited once a month. It was awkward at first, but slowly, gradually, Dean Kang and I found common ground. He'd ask about my research. I'd ask about his work at the university. We'd never be best friends, but we were trying. And Mincio's mother? She loved me. She'd teach me Korean phrases, laugh at my terrible pronunciation, and tell me stories about Mincio's childhood. She was always stubborn, her mother said one evening over dinner. When she was 6, she decided she wanted to be a writer. I told her it was impractical. You know what she did? What? I asked, smiling. She wrote a story anyway. 50 pages. About a girl who fell in love with a prince from another country and they had to fight a dragon to be together. She laughed. Even then, she believed love could conquer anything. Mincio blushed. Amma. Stop. No. I said, kissing her hand. Don't stop. I love these stories. We got married in July. Small ceremony. Just family, and a few close friends. In a garden in Regent's Park, flowers blooming everywhere, the sun shining like it was blessing us. Mincio wore a simple white dress, I wore a traditional Ghanaian kente cloth suit. She cried when she saw me. "You look like a king," she whispered. "You look like everything," I whispered back. Dean Kang walked her down the aisle. When he placed her hand in mine, he whispered, "Take care of her." "With my life," I promised. The ceremony was bilingual, English and Korean. We wrote our own vows. "Marcus," Minseo said, tears streaming down her face, "you taught me that love isn't safe. It's not comfortable. It's dangerous and reckless and terrifying. But it's worth it. Every risk, every sacrifice, every moment of fear. Because you're worth it. And I would choose you in every lifetime, in every universe, in every version of reality, forever." I could barely speak through my tears. "Minseo, you walked into my life and changed everything. You made me believe in love when I thought I was too damaged, too broken. You taught me that some rules are meant to be broken, that some lines are meant to be crossed, and that loving you, was the first real choice I ever made. And I'd make it again, every single time." We kissed as husband and wife, while our families cheered. And for the first time in my life, I felt like I belonged somewhere. With her. 2 years later, we were thriving. I got a tenure-track position at Imperial, teaching modern literature, again, writing papers, loving every minute of it. Minseo finished her master's and started her PhD. She was writing her dissertation on forbidden love in contemporary literature. I'm calling it When Love Defies Power. Transgressive romance in modern narratives. She told me one night in bed. "Subtle," I teased. "It's our story," she said, kissing my shoulder. "I want the world to know it. Not the scandal. Not the controversy. But the truth. That love doesn't fit in neat little boxes. That sometimes the most meaningful relationships are the ones that break the rules. You're going to change the world. You know that?" She smiled. "We already did. We changed ours." She got a job at a publishing house after graduation, editing contemporary fiction. She was brilliant at it. Authors loved working with her. We bought a house, small, in a quiet neighborhood, with a garden where we grew tomatoes and peppers and herbs from both our cultures. Her parents visited often now. Dean Kang had fully retired, and he and my father-in-law had become unlikely friends, bonding over literature and philosophy and their shared love of their stubborn children. "You know," Dean Kang told me one evening, sitting in our garden, "I hated you once." "I remember," I said dryly. "But now?" He looked at me, his eyes sincere. "Now I can't imagine anyone else for my daughter. You make her happy. Really happy. And that's all a father can ask for. Thank you," I said, my throat tight. "That means more than you know. I mean it. Marcus, you're a good man. I was too blind to see it before, but I see it now." And then, 3 years after we got married, Minseo woke me up one morning, with tears in her eyes. "Marcus," she whispered, "I have something to tell you." I sat up, instantly awake. "What? What's wrong?" "Nothing's wrong." She smiled through her tears. "I'm pregnant." Time stopped. "You're... what?" "I'm pregnant." She laughed, crying harder. "We're having a baby." pulled her into my arms, kissing her face, her tears, her lips. "We're having a baby?" "Yes." She was laughing now, full of joy. "You're going to be a father, and you're going to be a mother." I placed my hand on her stomach. "Our baby, our baby," she echoed. We lay there, holding each other, imagining the future. A future we'd fought for, bled for, sacrificed for, and it was finally, beautifully ours. 8 months later, I stood in a hospital room, holding my daughter for the first time. She had Me.Her's eyes, my nose, a perfect blend of both of us. "She's beautiful," Me.Her whispered from the bed, exhausted but radiant. "She's perfect," I breathed. "Just like her mother. What should we name her?" We'd discussed names for months. Korean names, Ghanaian names, names that honored both our cultures. "Hope," I said suddenly. "Her name is Hope." Me.Her smiled. "Hope Williams Kang. Because she's proof," I continued, tears streaming down my face. "That love wins, that forbidden can become forever. That the hardest battles lead to the greatest victories." "Hope," Me.Her repeated, reaching for my hand. "I love it. I love you." "I love you too." I kissed her forehead, then looked down at our daughter. "Both of you, forever." So that's our story, the professor and the student, the forbidden love that nearly destroyed us, the families who opposed us, then embraced us, the journey from Seoul to London to forever. People ask me sometimes if I regret it, if I wish I'd never opened that door the night Me.Her showed up in the rain, if I'd played it safe, followed the rules, protected my career, and my answer is always the same: no. Because safe is overrated. Rules are meant to be questioned, and some love stories are worth every risk. Was it wrong? Maybe. The ethics are complicated. But what we built from those ashes, our marriage, our family, our life together, that's not wrong. That's everything. If you've been with us through this entire journey, thank you. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. Your comments, your support, your willingness to see beyond the scandal to the love underneath it means everything. Subscribe if you haven't already. Share this video with someone who needs to hear that love can win even when it seems impossible. And remember, sometimes the most beautiful love stories are the ones that break all the rules. This is Marcus and Me.Her signing off.